Hello there everybody. In the last episode we decided to do a mob farm for the next create challenges, and I just did it. I built the farm up and now I'm AFKing, letting it gather some materials. So before we do anything else, why don't we take a look at the build process. Well, there we go. You just saw it. It's a big, kind of ugly brick. I did decorate it some, but it's giant and it's out in the middle of nowhere, so I wasn't going to worry about making it look too pretty. Where am I, you may wonder? Well, I am in the AFK area, so let's take a look at what this machine's doing. So I'm inside that box, and down there is this wonderful mob farm. It does all the mobs, pretty much anything that could spawn. We got witches, spiders, creepers, skellies, zombies, all of that, even endermen. It has 5 spawning floors, 4 of which rotate as you're seeing now. It has a double clock, so it rotates from a floor spawning position to a wall dropping position, and it spends more time on the floor than it does on the wall. Down here at the bottom, we have a bit of a wind tunnel. Encased fans are pushing all the mobs that spawn over to this little bit of a trough where more fans push them into the saws, where the saws do all the work and chew them up rather quickly, rather nicely. And this farm is kicking butt, let me tell you. It is generating material much faster than I had even anticipated. Down here in the depths of the system, we have the storage area where everything is kept by Tom's Storage. This big block of barrels here has something like 1,300 slots of inventory space, which is quite a lot, but it's still filling up fast. We've got something like 20,000 bones, 20,000 gunpowder in there, plus a whole bunch of other stuff, because this thing produces too fast, like I said. And how about this? This is a windmill. Yeah, it doesn't really look like it, does it? But it is. It's a windmill rotating at negative 192 RPM. Yep. And then this one over here is rotating at 155 RPM. These are controlling 2 different systems. The slower one is controlling the floor flipping and the saw speed. So I don't need it to be quite as fast. While the big one here is controlling the fans, and they need to be moving so that the airstream reaches all the way to the trough and then all the way to the saws. The reason it's negative is just so it can spin the opposite direction. It's a nice easy trick. If you have these rotational speed controllers, you just go in the negative and it'll rotate the opposite direction. And then over here on this side, we have sort of the controls for the system. I made a little clock in here that controls everything. This is the main clock right here that is set to a 15-second delay, and we have the secondary clock set to a 5-second delay. All these repeaters are just to keep the system from backpowering itself. And what this does, it makes the floor stay flat for 10 seconds and then go vertical for 5 seconds. I did a lot of testing with this setup, and I feel like this is the best timing delay for this system. So there you have it, the Create Mod Farm. It's probably not going to win me any challenges this week, but it's giving us something we vitally need, gunpowder. We have elytras now, and we're going to need a lot of rockets to have fun with them. And with this, we're halfway there. I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with this one. I wasn't sure if I'd be able to pull off these intertwined sort of spinning rings, but it actually works. And that's thanks to a little create mod trickery I used. I now have my own portal to the Nether. I've also been doing a lot of decorating and putting machines together over on Skybase so that I have stuff I need to make cool things like this. And I thought it would be a great time to give you guys a little bit of a tour and show you some of the cool machines we have working hard for us over there. As you saw, this is a separate floating portal. It's not connected to the Skybase, so we have to have a way to get to it when we can't fly, and that's what this is. This is an ejector that takes us right over there to the Skybase. Perfect. And this one will take us right back. And since I'm right here, let's talk about this thing first. This is an unloader for my super block destroyificator. Yep. And if I throw the breaker down there, you'll see there it is, sitting nicely on its platform. And I have this collection system to send all the loot inside here into a vault. It's currently not sending it though because it's in entity form. So let's turn it into block form and let it do its work. These 6 double chests are almost completely full, and I made the system in a certain way that I could easily dispose of what I don't need. So let's go down below deck so I can show you exactly what I'm talking about. Now down here, this is the vault that's holding all those items that are coming in. And normally these vaults from Create Mod can't be accessed. You can only put things in there and pull them out with other means. You can't really look at what's in there. But with Tom's Storage Mod, this handy little item makes it so that you can see everything inside, and it's amazing. Now what I want to do is take out some things that I want to keep. So let me do that really quick. Okay, so there you go. You can see the system's empty other than 10,000 netherrack. And I don't want that 10,000 netherrack, and I don't want to move it. So I put this little system together where we have lava and a smart chute, and all I have to do is take my wrench and flip the chute, and in no time all of that 10,000 netherrack will be burned up and the system will be ready for tons more fresh loot. While I'm down here below deck, why don't I show you some of the other things we got going on. Over here, this is more of a temporary system. This is my little makeshift bee honey gatherificating, where I have this fancy system where I come in and I use shears and get honeycomb. Yep, super tech, especially with all these amazing things you can do with bees in the Create mod. Over here in the middle, this is our storage block. It currently has something like 13,000 slots of storage. That's slots. And it is holding all of our precious loot that we gather out there. We can access it from the top or right here. And as you can see, it is packed full of stuff. Lots and lots, because I have been gathering. And then again, back over here, we've got this other little system. You see, Skybases need cooling, and they cool themselves with water, but we're up in the sky. We need to get the water to us, so I threw this in, and we have a little access here where I can just throw a bucket there, and it gives me water whenever I need it. Really handy. But over here is the cool part. This tank is full of water already, but not completely full. If we reverse the rotation on the system, we can see that the hose drops from the tank area and into the water below, where it sucks up all the water we need to cool the ship. And there it is. Now it is getting to work, drawing water all the way up into the system, into this tank, which then goes into this tube, which comes up into this tube, which passes through. It can go into this tank, then over here, down into these tubes, over here into this tank, where this is also full of water. And then over here, this is just a big empty room so far. Nothing special. If you saw me build my house upstairs, you may have noticed it doesn't have a kitchen of any sort. So I'm going to put that down here on what I will be calling the first floor of the house, because I'm not putting my kitchen in the basement. And then over here we have our grindificating system, where stuff we throw in above gets grinded down into here and drops onto the conveyor belt and then up into our storage. And then we have this little device link down here, which is currently monitoring this little cuckoo clock in the back here. And that's so we can tell the time in a very special and easy to read manner. So that's pretty much everything we got going on down below deck so far. Let's take a ride up our escalator and take a look at everything that's changed upstairs. And here we are on the deck of Skybase. You can see in the center now we have a big antenna with stuff coming off it, and we still have all of our loot right here in the middle. We got our ender chest right there, easy access, and cool decorational stuff just to make it look more functional. Like, look at that. little radar type detector thing that I made with armor stands. Over here, can't miss this. This is a schematic type blueprint thing where you can put anything you want in each one of these slots. And if you look, it tells me the recipe right there. So if you have any recipes that you have trouble remembering because you have so many items you can make with the new modded Minecraft, this is perfect. And it also looks really cool. Not to mention, I put it on this board that I created with the supports. I believe they're called supports. I love these things. Right here, we have the time, currently 11:25 a.m. But then we have this great little system right here. What it's for is to easily make any type of casing we need. Plus, it's good at just sawing material, which helps increase what we get from it. But as you can see, the wood is being stripped on the saw, and then the deployer is putting a casing on each one. No more having to do this manually. This was a pain, let me tell you. Over here, we have the top of our grindificator where we can just throw anything we want in there, and maybe it'll get grinded up, maybe it won't. Those things I just threw in, they're not going to grind into anything. And you may notice on this side, we've got some fire popping up. Let's take a look. Yes, we've got some exhaust vents that are burning away right there. And I think this is a really cool addition to the decoration of a skybase. I'm figuring out what a skybase is as I go. And yeah, every once in a while I come up with something I really like this. Who knows what'll come next. Right here, this is the mechanical crafter, I believe it's called. And really, I made this so I could make these big giant spinning wheels, because you have to fill every one of those slots with material to kick it off and have it make the item. And here you can see I put all the needed ingredients in here and finish it with that. And the system kicks into gear and creates this big old giant wheel, really cool looking, just like that. And it ends up in the barrel. I get 2 for that one, so gotta love that. Over here, I've moved a lot of my storage for the create stuff and chipped. These are the chipped workbenches, some of them, not all of them. Here's our super smeltificator, and it's been upgraded. It's got decoration now with smoke coming out of it. All these machines over here and the smelter are all turned on with this lever right there. And as you can see, everything's moving. Right here, we have a mill system. Here we have the basin, grind everything up we need. And right there, we have the press. And then we got this little machine. I love this thing. This is specifically for making precision gears, which are used to make the rotational speed controller, which is one of my favorite items in Create. Now, for each one of those precision gears, they have to make 5 trips across the conveyor belt. Each time they do, each one of these deployers puts part of the material into the gear. And after 5 times, if it's worked, the hand will put the gear into this barrel right there. If not, it puts it over there. These gears also have a 20% chance of breaking, and if they break, any excess material will be put over here. Now, let me sleep really quick, and I'll show you it in action. Okay, much better. So, what we need to do is toss some gold sheets in there, and we'll see the machine kick into action, and isn't that cool? The mechanical arm is putting everything exactly where it needs to go, and there you see our first, second, and third precision gear has been made and put into the system, and there they are. They're called precision mechanisms, by the way, and not gears, so yep, I was calling them the wrong thing. But anyway, still pretty cool. Skybase is coming along really great, and I've got some good plans moving forward, so I'm really looking forward to getting into that. I hope everybody liked all of this out here that we got going on so far, and I can't wait to get to the next episode. So for now, I'll see you guys next time.
You ain't feeling if you're trying it. Ooh, gotta believe the future's brighter. You owe it to yourself to do it, only brings you joy. So shut up all that noise, yep, shut up all that noise. Hey, just chill, I got all the time to kill. Yeah, I got good vibes, good vibes. I'm too blessed to give in to any stress, it's only good